Hello everyone, this is the part 2 of our leg rigging tutorial, advanced rig, advanced rigging for legs. So let's continue when we left. So one small mistake we made in naming here. This should not be foot, it's a heel. So let's rename it. This bone, it's heel. Okay. The right foot also, heel. Very nice. So let's also click the bone object and click the leg object and the armature, Ctrl P with automatic weight. So X mirror keep transfer. So as you can see, the legs moving. Let's choose the legs, go in the modifiers panel and click preserve volume. What preserve volume does, let me show you. Let's bend the leg. As you can see, this intersection now. Let's go into the object mode. Let's click. You can see the volume is preserved. Let me uncheck. You can see. Very good. Go back to pose mode. Reset everything with Alt R. And let's start building our IK bones and FK bones. Let's go into the data panel, data properties panel, and change the display of our bones from octahedral into the B bone. Let's click A, select all the B bones and Ctrl Shift S to scale more. We need to scale. Okay. So now we're clicking the upper leg, the lower leg, the heel and the toe. Let's do the same thing in the right leg. So we're clicking, not the hip legs or the spine leg. Okay. So let's duplicate by pressing Shift D in edit mode. So Shift D. Okay, very nice. And let's scale the bones. Shift Ctrl C S and okay. Very nice. Let's also, we don't see the inside bone, so we need to X-ray. Yes. No. We need something. Yeah, this perfect. So now we can see the IK bones and the deformation leg bones. So this will be our IK bones. Let's name it. IK and uncheck default. These bones, we don't need these bones to default. Uncheck default. Uncheck default. Very nice. Let's repeat the right side. We could just symmetrize the way we did with the deformation bones, but why not just doing manually? Practice makes perfect, always. And the final one. Okay. Now in the data properties panel, we need to name the first layer. We need to name deformation leg bones. Click the plus button and let's create the second layer with the name IK bones, and let's select this IK bones, press M button and move to IK bones. Now we hiding the IK bones and you can only see the one layer. Very nice. Okay, now let's click let's hide the IK bone layer, and let's click the upper leg and the lower leg, same on the right side. So now we need to duplicate these two parts for the FK bones. Shift D. Now scale, Shift Ctrl Alt S. Okay. This will be our FK bones. Let's also create a FK bone layer. FK. Move these bones into the FK bone. Very good. Also, we must rename these FK bones to FK, obviously. FK. FK. Uncheck the deform. Neither the FK points should deform. Let's do the same thing in the right side. FK, uncheck. FK. It's very nice. So we have created FK and IK bones. Let's close the FK bones for now and unhide the IK. We are going to make a quick IK leg controller. Let's click here, Shift S, cursor to select it, and create a new bone. Very nice. Scale it. Scale it, and in the bones properties panel, uncheck the deform. This bone will be IK rotation. IK rotation. So normal this bone will be rotation, but for short term it will act as a controller. Okay, and IK rotation total. control and okay. Now by the way, this IK bones we created automatically apparented to the hip bones, which is exactly what we want. As you can see in the pose mode, everything moves together except the IK controllers. We will fix it later. So now we need to add IK constraint. No, first let's do the IK bones. Okay, select the IK upper leg bone, click the deformation upper leg bone, shift Ctrl C, copy location. You can see into the bones constraint. Again, shift Ctrl C and copy rotation. So we need both copy location and copy rotation. Okay, this copy rotation we are going to name it IK. Let's do the same thing in the lower leg. Shift Ctrl C, copy location, copy rotation. IK. We are going to repeat the same thing in the right leg. Copy location, copy rotation. Let's name it. In the rotation constraint, we must name it because we are going to need it for the driver switch. So it's necessary, so we don't confuse later. IK. Okay. Now IK legs. Now we need to click this controller and this low IK leg. Before that, what we did with copy rotation and location, now this IK controller controls the deformation bones. Okay. Now let's add the IK constraint. Inverse kinematics. 1. Let's see. You can see. Chain length 2. So the leg, now it's controlled. Okay. Let's do the same thing in the right side, inverse. Very nice. Now, these are the basic IK for the foot. When we going to rig the foot, we are going to modify or not. Yeah, this won't be a controller. Okay, this will be only for the rotation of the foot. But for the upper leg, doesn't change anything. You just need to. I'm doing now for the driver switching between FK and IK bones. So now let's hide the IK bones and unhide the FK bones. Let's do the same thing. Select the FK upper leg bone and click FK deformation upper leg bone. Shift Ctrl C, copy location. Let's go into the constraint panel. IK rotation sphere, copy location, and Shift Ctrl C, copy rotation again. So the copy rotation will be called, obviously, FK rotation. Let's repeat the same process in the lower leg. Copy location, FK rotation, very nice. Repeat the process in the right leg. And okay, now both IK and FKs copying the rotation, but as you can see, only the FK bone now controls the deformation. If I unhide the IK bones, no more movement. You can see. So what we need is to switch controllers, turn on, turn off controllers. If I want FK, I will turn FK, and the IK controllers will be disabled. So how we do that? Here is the good one. So we need to add drivers. So this was the end of part 2 for our advanced leg rigging tutorial. In part 3 we are going to focus on the drivers, so switching on off the drivers for the legs, and if we have the time, maybe rigging the foot. So that's for today, guys. Hope you like it. Press the like button and subscribe. I will really appreciate it. So have a nice day. Bye.